everybody! I'm back! Sorry for the delay, I've been trying to get a... shoot. I'm not finished! Okay, excuse me everyone, pardon me, I'm gonna goof. I'm back! I have all that I need now. But apparently the screen is frozen. Which is a real bummer. For those of you that don't know, it is December by the time I'm making this recording. And it's funny that the screen would freeze when it is literally freezing over here in Louisiana. Ugh. Okay, we may not have snow. It rarely ever snows down here. As a matter of fact, the only time it ever really snowed down here that I can recall where everything was literally covered in snow was in 2008 or 9. It was a very memorable time. I remember my mom was excited. She had come from Arkansas, and it snows up there. It snows up there. So when she came down here, snow was a rarity for her. When it snowed in Louisiana, she was so ecstatic. She tried to wake us up, but we were cold and tired to the point that we really didn't want to get up. She thought that we were party poopers. We really were. Oh my, but when we woke up, everything was covered in snow. Oh, that's all I had to do? Well, I feel like a stupid idiot. Anyway, you got to learn a little interesting something about me. I hope it's not too, I hope I didn't bore you. Oh my, but here's the thing my mom did the time we had here's another thing my mom did that she regretted that day, sending my brother to school. She had the schools eventually took a day off because it snowed, and my mom felt bad for sending my brother to school, but he never held it against her. We don't either. And then when my brother had his friends over, he called all of his friends over to have a little get together. And when they went out into the field, he lost his cell phone. So I literally had to go out into the cold with him to help him look for his cell phone. The trick that I had used was calling him with my cell phone. We found it in no time. That's a little trick for you guys in case you ever lose your cell phone out in the middle of the cold or somewhere in particular, you just call it. But you guys probably already know that, don't you? A male lion was standing there, glaring at us. Right, I forgot about that. So lions walk the streets in this world too. No, there weren't any wild lions in Kansas. Then what's that? Okay, that's terrible. The lion noticed us and stared in our direction. We could end up being lion food if we stick around here. Run! I grabbed Leon's hand and dashed in the other direction. Wait! Solomon? Solomon gently touched my shoulder, as though trying to calm me down. Look closely, that lion seems troubled by something. Really? I wonder if he wanted to attack us. He would have done so already. I think if he wanted to attack us, he would have done so already. You might be right. The lion made no move to approach us. Instead, he maintained his distance. It seemed what Solomon had said was right. Then where did this lion come from? There's one way to find out. He winked at me. Are you going to use magic? If he used magic when he was away from Quadlings, Solomon's body could get weaker. It's fine. If you're with me, my magic won't weaken. Besides, this one magic is the type that doesn't really use up that much energy. If you say so. I'll make it so that you can understand too. I'll make it so that you could understand too, okay? I could understand too? I had no clue what kind of plan he was forming. Just watch. He elegantly waved his hand. I stared hard at the lion, trying to see if something might happen. You can hear me over here. You can hear me over there, can't you, lion? Yeah. What? Solomon is talking with a lion? And strangely enough, I can understand what the lion said too. I used magic to make it possible to talk with animals. Amazing! Kansas was one place I never thought magic would exist in. I didn't expect such a strange thing could happen here. My fear steadily gave way to excitement. Where in the world did you come from? I live at the zoo. The cage that I live in got broken, so I came outside. Huh? So you're that lion? The one that I was scared of when I was little? Most human children who see me get scared and start crying. Isn't it bad for a scary lion like that to walk around town? But I didn't mean to. Really? I was following a delicious smell and ended up walking over here before I realized it. I don't know how to get back. I'm terribly sorry. I see. That sounds like a trouble indeed. Solomon folded his arms and nodded in agreement. Although the two of them were talking seriously, it boiled down to the fact that the lion basically just lost his way. You're kind of like Leonardo. What? Are you laughing at me? No. There's a lion back home that we know too. You're a lot like him, so I suddenly felt close to you. Is that so? Then I don't mind. Hearing that I felt close to him, the lion wagged his tail, not as mad as he seemed. That cute honesty also reminded me of Leonardo. So, what are you going to do now? I can cast magic so that you can talk like this. You're a strange person. A wizard, actually. If I use my powers, I can send you back to the world you came from, too. The world I came from. My mane twitched. It seemed he was interested. I believe your species lives in a place called Africa in this world. Okay, so he actually knows his way around here, sort of. I wouldn't mind sending you there. But when he kind of... How long has he been living in the zoo? If he's been there for about... From the time Dorothy was a little girl. He might have been there. This must be a very old lion, now that I bring it up. So if he's been domesticated for about as long as from the time Dorothy was a little girl, he might need to... I'm not so sure if he would be able to survive out in the wild. Although he might, if he's lonesome already. Upon hearing Solomon's proposal, if the lion went back home, there'd be a big fuss at the zoo. Although I thought that, I also couldn't drop a wet blanket on their serious. No, please return me to the zoo. Are you really okay with that? Yes, I do miss the land of Africa, where I grew up. But the wild that I love are at the zoo. Really? Yeah. The lion his family with a tinge of embarrassment. Then we'll accompany you to the zoo. Is that okay? We were also planning on going to the place near the zoo to see the night view. After we return you to your cage, I'll fix it up for you. It'd be a problem if your kids ended up lost like you, right? Yeah, that'd be helpful. The lion bowed deeply to Solomon. We could get there in an instant if I used teleportation magic. But I want to enjoy Kansas while we're here, so is it okay if we walk? I don't mind. We set off, 2 humans and 1 lion. It was a strange grouping that I hadn't experienced before. A strange grouping you hadn't experienced before? Why should that be so strange to you? The first time you were in Oz, you had a grouping. You were part of a group of a scarecrow, a tin man, and a lion. Why is this strange to you now? I wasn't sure how long we had walked. It was fun walking with the lion, and before I knew it, we had arrived at our destination. Thank you so much, you two. The lion thanked us politely, then returned to his cage. The lion wanted to return to his cage instead of his birthplace. Solomon whispered, eyes gazing far off. Exactly the opposite of what you wanted back then. When I heard the prophecy of the Land of Oz, I tried to return to Kansas. I wonder what I would do now. Walking with Solomon, I realized my feelings were changing. Right now, I would definitely choose the cage where I could be with my lover, Rhoda. I feel relaxed in my hometown, and I love it, but being apart from the person I love would be very hard. When I came to the land of Oz, I didn't feel like this at all. It was Solomon, who now stood before me, who taught me how to love Rhoda. I feel the same way. I could feel his emotion through the warmth of his hand. I hope that lion can live happily forever. Yeah, of course he will. It might be nice to come in the afternoon next time and go see him. If we talk with him like we did today, the other customers would sure be surprised. We looked at each other and laughed. I prayed that this moment would last forever. But happy moments have to end when the time comes. Why? It's so we can have another happy moment. Well, I am Jandy the Artsy Rose, and I shall see you all in the next video, everyone. Goodbye.